Hello, sci-fi gangsters. This is the show where we talk about science fiction, video games, and comic books. But really, it's just an excuse for me to catch up with my friends and to meet interesting people and to play Star Trek Adventures. All right, here we go. Here's our second episode of Star Trek Adventures. I'm actually pretty excited about this. I've read this particular episode. For those of you who are watching at home, for spoiler alert for the arrival at Bacchus is the name of the episode. That's what we'll be playing today. Before we begin, and before we introduce everybody here, I do want to say that, you can always check us out on YouTube. Sci-Fi Gangsters is the channel. We've been doing Star Trek Adventures. We actually did our review of the Sandman, or Sandman, I should say. You can always check that out on YouTube, but also check us out wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to watch us in YouTube form, you want to watch us in podcast form, listen to us in podcast form. That's how that works. Although on Spotify, you can watch us as a video. And of course, this is always cringy to say, but like and subscribe and do all that kind of stuff, or give us a review give us the first review of the podcast on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. That actually helps us out. At least we know that someone's listening, right? Even if it's negative, even if you say something like, I hate the host, I'm fine with it. I'd rather have that happen than nothing at all. All right, so let's go ahead and get to our second episode. But first, I want to introduce everybody here and kind of get everybody familiar with your characters a little bit, kind of introduce the characters, and then I'll do a quick review of what the last episode, and we'll kind of transition into this second episode. But first, we'll start with my co-host, my good friend Jeremy. Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm ready for that cold weather to set in officially, and bust out my hoodies, my dress hoodies.
There you go. Very good. And it has been getting pretty cold here. So I did not enjoy it, but Jeremy, I'm glad that you are enjoying the cold weather. Now, Jeremy, you are playing Lieutenant Commander James Masters. Is that correct? A human?
Yep, that sounds right.
All right. Well, very good. Excellent. There is one question that I wanted to ask you. I actually wanted to ask you off air, but let's go ahead and do it here. And the reason for this is actually kind of important. Did you want your character to be the first officer or the chief engineer? Because that is very important for where you are at on the ship. If you're the chief engineer, you probably need to be in engineering, which is fine because you can be in engineering doing your own engineering things. If you wanted to be the first officer, you probably need to be on the bridge, right? You are engineering focused. I just want to know what you wanted.
Well, I built the character as chief engineer, and you changed me to first officer, so whatever works.
Okay, so considering that you want to do that, I'm fine with this. Let's have you. I think this might be a little more interesting too to have you in a different spot on the ship. Just kind of fun. So we'll go ahead and put
demoted after the first mission.
Let's say that you are third in command, right? You are third in command, and you are in the.
This is really breaking up my my buy-in to this world.
Okay, is this ruining it for you that you're third in command rather than second command? We'll figure it out. Maybe you'll get promoted. We'll see what happens. But anyways, that is your character. Moving on to Acid. Acid, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Can't complain. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Do it.
Now, Acid, you are
Mission
playing.
Start.
I like it. You're the only one taking this seriously. The
Yes.
rest of you need to get on it. Need to buy your uniforms so we can do this officially. But Acid, you are
Get
playing.
your
You got a
uniforms
phaser as
now.
well?
Get your uniforms now.
I got a little bit closer. I got a blue shirt this time.
Very good. I'll take it. So, Acid, you're playing the Tellarite Slaw.
Yes,
You are the lead helmsman
I am.
of the ship.
Best helmsman in Starfleet.
All right. Well, very good. Excellent. And we'll go ahead and move on to Lindsay. Lindsay, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm kind of like Jeremy. I'm ready for the cold weather to just finally be here and stay here in particular.
Of course, it's worth mentioning that in December it's going to warm up again. It'll be nice 70-degree weather in December, but then it'll get cold again. It'll be cold for a while, just like it is every time here in the South. But Lindsay, you are playing the Denobulan, if I remember correctly, and
Yep.
you are the chief medical officer. You are also a lieutenant commander as well. All right, so good to have you as part of the crew, I guess, right? And our new addition to the crew here, Michael, how you doing? Michael, you are muted.
I'm doing good. I'm playing Menden. He is a Benzite, and I am a science officer.
Very good. Excellent. It's good to have you as part of the crew here. And maybe I'll try to get a little bit more out of you in terms of some of your values. Actually, let's go ahead and do that right now. So I have a question for you. This is a question that I asked everybody. So I'm going to look at one of your values, and I want you to explain to me why you had that value. So tell me why you're not afraid to stand up to a commanding officer. What happened? Was there a particular event in your career where you had to do that? Putting you on the spot. That's okay. That's part of this.
Why didn't I think about this before?
I am putting you on the spot. You can think of. I'll let you think of it. I'll let you think of something. We'll come back to you. How about that? But excellent. Of course, the Benzite is played by Michael Mann. All right, so let's go ahead and get to our episode. So just a quick recap of our previous episode. We did a two-parter, right? We began it and then we ended it over 2 episodes. So we'll do a quick little last time on Star Trek Adventures, right? So last time you were on your way to the USS Pike. That is your new position, is being a crew members on you're mostly senior staff on the USS Pike, and you were on your way in a runabout. And on the way there, you got a distress call from a research station. You go in the research station, you realize that the crew was being turned into Neanderthals. You were able to fight them off a little bit. Then you were able to determine the cure to this. You administered the cure. You got a little bit of research. You rescued the research team, and you were able to escape the planet. And now what you are doing is, or what has happened is, you have made it all the way to the USS Pike. We're about a week in to your new positions, right? So like I said previously, we have Jeremy, who's playing James Masters. You are the chief engineer, so you've spent some time in engineering. You're meeting your engineering crew. Asha, you're settling in sick bay, right? You're sort of getting established there. I will say that you have, remember Dr. Ship from the previous episode? She is part of your staff, so she has joined the crew, right? She's very appreciative of all the help, so she wanted to join the crew, okay? And then we got the Tellarite Slaw. You are the lead helmsman, so you're sort of settling in your new position. And then Michael, your character, Menden, is the science officer, the lead science officer, and you're sort of getting familiar with your new position on the USS Pike. The USS Pike is a Galaxy-class starship, so it's basically the Enterprise, right? And it's captained by Captain Jellicoe. He is your captain. I will be playing Captain Jellicoe. I'll also be playing many of the other NPCs throughout this particular episode. All right, so we're a week in, and we begin the episode. But first, I want to know where everybody is on the ship right now. We'll start with James Masters, who I'm assuming that you are in engineering right now.
I don't know. What time is it?
Let's say that it is 0900 hours. 0900 hours.
What's that relative to?
Just like 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. in the morning.
But is he on third shift? Is he on?
We'll say I'm.
Which rotation is he on?
Heading toward engineering from my quarters.
Oh, you're heading towards engineering. We're very good. You're going to your position. Anything on the agenda today? Anything you're working on?
Yeah. So the warp core is melting down, and I have to fix it.
Oh my goodness! Here we go. Now you're just ruined us. I'll ignore what you just said there, and we'll move on to Asha. It's the same time. Where are you at? So there's many places you can be. You could be on the bridge. You can be in sick bay. What are you doing right now?
She is probably already in sick bay trying to catch up on whatever paperwork or forms she needs to do before things start kicking off for the day.
All right. Well, very good. Excellent. I'm not going to ask you what you're doing right now because you're probably going to give me a Jeremy answer and say that the ship is exploding. But moving on to Lieutenant Slaw. Lieutenant Slaw, what are you doing right now?
Well, I find myself in the ready room with Captain Jellicoe. He's offered me a vodka tonic at 9 a.m. for some reason. I politely declined and told him that I really need to get back to the helm.
Okay, so you're on your way to the helm.
Yeah.
Maybe you're sitting down, so you're on the bridge. Excellent.
I'm on the bridge. Can you tell? I'm on the bridge.
I can tell. I can see that. You are literally on the bridge. And then Ensign Minden, what are you doing? Where are you at right now on the ship?
I'd say I'm just walking around the ship, trying to get oriented to where everything is. Passerbys just see me with my hands kind of behind my back, and I'm just like, I just look like I'm having a curious time, just checking everything out.
Very good. I like it. See, that's how you do it, right? I'm just kidding. Fantastic. I like it. Thanks, Mike. I like that. All right, so good. All right, so that's where everybody else is on. So we have one person on the bridge, one person in sickbay, one person close to engineering, one person walking around in the corridors. All right, so on the bridge right now, we're setting the scene. We have Jellicoe on the bridge with Slaw right now, and then you get a signal, like a doo-doo-doo-doo. And one of another ensign tells Captain Jellicoe, Captain Jellicoe, we have a priority call from the starbase. So the name of the starbase, I cannot remember the name, not starbase off the top of my head, but there is a starbase that is established in the Shackleton expanse, right? That's sort of like an outpost where Starfleet is making new advancements into the Shackleton expanse. All right, so Jellicoe says, I'll take it in my office. Slaw, you see Jellicoe get up. He does his little shirt thing, pull the shirt down, right? And then he walks into his
Picard, are you here?
I can do that.
he's in his ready room. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, and then you see him sort of rushing out of his office, and he kind of hits his communicator and he says, senior staff to the conference room immediately. And he kind of rushes into the conference room. All right, so just so everybody is aware, all of you are senior. I
need a conference room graphic. That'd be great.
That would be pretty cool. All right, so you're all senior staff. I'm assuming all of you are rushing to the conference room. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, I'm right there, so I just gotta get up out of my chair.
All right, so it's a jump in time. I'll give you guys 10 minutes to get there. So you're all in the conference room. Just think of the next generation conference room. You got Jellicoe, who's standing right next to the PowerPoint screen, right? he's doing that, and he says something to the extent of, "Thank you all for coming. I know we haven't had an official introduction to everybody just yet, but we have a really important mission to do here. Unfortunately, I have to report that we've had an incident. 2 Starfleet officers stole a shuttlecraft from the space station, and in the process, they killed a security officer. They took the shuttlecraft and they went off with it. All right. Anyone want to ask any questions?
And they were stationed at the outpost?
Yeah, both of these crew were stationed at the outpost. Yes.
Do we know who they are?
We do know who they are. Their names are Lieutenant Jana Frey and Ensign Camelia Chara.
What was that second name again?
So the second name is Ensign Camelia Chara. The motivations for stealing the shuttlecraft are unclear.
Lover's retreat, perhaps?
Do we know the shuttlecraft's last known location?
We do know. We know that they were on a course to to Bacchus 4, which is actually more disturbing because recently we have been getting a lot of reports of ships disappearing in that region. So we've had local merchants telling us, warning us not to go in that area because Many ships have been either destroyed or lost. No one knows exactly why this is the case. We have been told by some people that is because an alien race known as the Telecol, which apparently no longer exists anymore, have been destroying ships, taking prisoners. Oftentimes when people bring up this race, the Telecol, they often sort of describe them sort of like a boogeyman figure. We have never met. We have not made first contact with the Telecol before. We don't even know if it's a real alien race. But it is concerning that these two crew members decided to take their shuttlecraft or the shuttlecraft to this system and to Bacchus 4.
Do we know if there's any other things they took?
They seem to have not wanted to take anything. They kind of they didn't steal any equipment. They killed a security officer, but it seems like the only reason why they killed the security officer is because he was stopping them from taking the shuttlecraft. So we really have no idea why they decided to do this.
And so what's the orders from Starfleet?
Our orders are to follow these two crew members, find them, apprehend them, and then figure out, obviously, try to find the motivation for why they decided to take this shuttlecraft.
Have they been disciplined before for anything? Prior records?
No, and that's the thing. Another interesting thing about them is that the two crew members seem to not have a relationship beforehand. They
even a professional one?
They don't seem to have known each other.
Okay.
Do we know exactly where in the station both of them were assigned?
Yeah, so one was an engineer and the other one was a science officer. Their stations or their responsibilities or their duties had nowhere near where the shuttle bay was. So once again, the reasoning for taking a shuttle and going to that system makes absolutely no sense.
What race are they?
Both human.
Both humans.
Were the two of them near dying Vulcans at any time in the recent past?
They were not near. So that was obviously the first the first hypothesis, but no, that has not been the case. That is not the case. Any other questions before we set a course?
Why is an ensign on the senior staff?
Ensigns are a part of senior staffs. This is canon.
This guy's barely out of the academy.
This is canon. See, ensigns can be senior. He's also a very distinguished officer as well. He's very accomplished. But anyways, before the insolence of the chief engineer.
I already got bumped down once. What you gonna do?
All right. So if there's any other questions, we'll set a course to Bacchus 4. Okay. All right. So skipping ahead.
Do we need to go back to the bridge first?
Yeah. So all of you are going back to the
right
bridge.
now. We're still in the.
We're skipping ahead. We're skipping ahead. So.
I didn't get to press any buttons. I just,
All right. So you're entering right now. So you're
all.
all.
Doesn't get to.
Let me ask you this. Where's everybody at now? All right, is everybody in the same spot you were at the beginning? Did you go back? Did you go somewhere different? Where's everybody at now?
I would hope to still be at the helm.
You're the one piloting. Jeremy, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm
Masters.
in engineering.
You're back in engineering. Asha, are you back in sick bay?
Yeah, they don't need a doctor up on the bridge currently. I don't think so.
Well, very good. And Menden, where are you at right now?
I would have tried to follow. Jeremy, what's your name again?
Masters.
James Masters. Okay.
James. I would try to follow James.
That's Lieutenant Commander Masters.
Lieutenant Commander.
Talk shit, get hit.
Ensign.
I'm not afraid to stand up to you.
Oh, there you go.
No, I would have kind of followed him, being polite, and just, where are you headed? What can you tell me about this ship? Do you need a hand anywhere? I'm happy to help.
Sounds good to me. All right, so we pretty much know where everybody is at. All right, so we're entering into the Bacchus system. We're heading to Bacchus 4, and as the pike drops out of warp, the ship lurches as if it comes to a sudden stop. So you're all sudden stop, right? You're kind of thrown forward. Several crew members tumble to the deck. On the main viewer, you see one of the planets, the Bacchus system. Some sort of orange-colored beam from the planet's surface has enveloped the ship. The lights flicker and the consoles go dark. Whatever the beam is, it is interfering with the ship's power, controls, and other systems. Just before the main viewer goes blank, you see through the orange haze the surface of the planet. It is a little larger than the size of Earth, yet on the surface you clearly see structures. Long lines that must cover thousands of miles connecting geometrical shapes the size of large cities, as well as other indications of artificial construction. Okay.
I'm going to reverse the polarity of the tractor beam to see if I can repel whatever's coming at us.
I like that, but first what I need everyone to do a presence check. Because this is your first major assignment, I need everybody to do a presence check, which means that everybody rolls 2 d20s in your respected field. And I'll let you choose. Well, first of all, tell me. We'll start off with masters here. I'll let you do engineering, but how are you sort of settling yourself right now? What are you doing in this particular moment?
I mean, were people thrown forward?
People are thrown forward. There's your power's down, lights are down, consoles aren't responding. What are you doing right now?
I'm going to go try to activate backup power systems.
Okay, so are you going to like a behind a console, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, very good, excellent. All right, so I'm going to let you do. I'm going to let you do an insight and engineering roll with a difficulty of 0.
Okay, so I rolled an 11 and a 5.
All right, so both are successes.
Okay.
So you generated 2 momentum. All right. So Asha, what's going on in sickbay? What are you doing right now?
She is running around very quickly, trying to make sure all of the people that may have been in sickbay at the moment are okay, and patients are back in beds in priority number 1, essentially.
Very good. I'll let you do a presence and medicine check.
And
with
11
a difficulty
and a 1.
All right. What is your number?
Presence plus medicine, that would be 13.
All right. So both are successes. One was a double success. All right. So you generated 4 momentum so far. All right. Slaw, what are you doing right now?
I am attempting. I'm over at the con right next door here, attempting to integrate some power from my phaser to get some information readings on the con so we can see kind of what's going on.
All right, so you're going to do a presence and we'll do presence and engineering. Presence and engineering for you.
All right, so 14. Is that right? Yeah. Presence 10, engineering is 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 14, yeah.
A 1 and a 5.
All right. And then going to Minden. Minden, what are you doing right now? What's happening? You're in engineering with...
Yeah, I would have just followed Lieutenant Masters to wherever he went.
All right, very good. And we've already generated 5 momentum, so there's no need to roll because we can't generate any more momentum than that. So we'll kind of keep, you got 5 momentum right now. All right, so there's a couple of things that need to happen. All right, so first things first, you need to restore power. So someone needs to do a reasoning and engineering check with a difficulty of 1. Who wants to do that?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously me, right?
I can do that too, I think.
All right. Do you want to assist?
I'll assist.
All right. So right now, Jeremy, go ahead and do a reason and engineering.
So that's a 5 and an 8, and that's a 14. So they both pass.
Both are success. All right. Well, very good. Excellent. No need to assist because this was successful. So the power, you notice that the power is restoring. So you're getting limited power to the station. All right. So the ship is.
Hold on. I got a question here. So
Yeah.
if we lost power, did we lose gravity?
Sure, you're all floating. Yeah, whatever. So there's emergency. There's always emergency power that allows for gravity, right? So there's always
life
emergency power and life support. All right, so you're good to go. Okay. All right. So next, all right. So the ship, you start to notice that the ship is slowly moving towards the planet. So you need to find a way to. And it's kind of spinning a little bit. And so it's kind of spinning in a circle. So someone needs to stabilize the ship. So someone needs to do a control and con
I can
with
do
a
that.
difficulty of 2.
Yeah, I can do that. That's a 16 for me.
Okay.
2 and a 19.
All right. So that was a unsuccessful.
A 1 and yeah, 1 and 1, or yeah, 1 successful, 1 not. Can I momentum one?
Yes.
13. So that's
All right. So there you go. You successfully got the ship. You got the ship to stabilize, but it's still being slightly drawn towards the planet. That orange beam is slowly. It's very small, but it's slowly bringing the ship towards the planet. The ship is orbiting the planet, but it's sort of dragging it down a little bit. Okay.
Is it doing any damage to the outside of the hull or anything?
Or
Or is it just acting as a tractor beam?
It is causing disruptions to systems, and it's also sort of slowly tearing the ship apart. Like there's minor hull fractures that are happening, and you're quickly noticing that the ship is actually being destroyed slowly by this orange beam. So does anyone want? Yeah, go ahead.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
So I wanna try what I was talking about before.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. First, I need someone to determine the characteristics of the beam. Right, so we need to do a little bit of research beforehand. So we need a reason and science with a difficulty of 2.
My reason's at 11, and my science is a 4.
Okay.
Is that
You want to go ahead and go with it? Do you want to use a momentum? Or Jeremy's there with you. I guess he can assist, huh?
I just rolled 2d20?
Yeah, you roll 2 d20s. There's a difficulty of 2.
What does the difficulty mean?
It means you have to have 2 successes in order to
I
accomplish.
see. That's an 8 and a 19. So 1 pass, 1 fail.
Can
And
can I assist?
You may assist.
Okay.
Tell me how you're assisting though first.
I'm going to do a quick scan on the computer to see if this has ever happened before, or if there's anything in the record book about this happening to a prior starship.
There is obviously plenty of literature on tractor beam technology.
I mean, this is obviously not a tractor beam, though.
Right, exactly. But nothing particular to this event that is happening right now.
I'm pretty sure I'm told everything happened on previous versions of other starships. I think you'll find it's always happened before.
So first of all, we don't know what happened to the previous ships because there hasn't been a Starfleet vessel. If you're listening to the briefing, Lieutenant Masters or Lieutenant Commander, I'm demoting you. I'm demoting you now. you know that these are all stories, so we don't know exactly what happened, right? But I'll allow you to assist. You may roll I'll let you. You have. It has to be a science though. A reason and science roll.
All right, and I just need 1 to pass.
Yeah,
Yes.
because one's already passed.
So that's a 5 and a 10. My reason and science is 12. So both pass.
All right, so it's only one roll, only one die when you assist, but I'll allow it.
Okay, yeah, either one of them.
Yeah, very good, excellent. All right, so you've sort of determined the makeup of this beam. Now, Jeremy, I know you're dying to. What did you say you wanted to try to do? Reverse the polarity?
I want to reverse the polarity of the tractor beam to push us out of the beam width coming from the planet.
All right.
Are we sure that won't tear the ship apart when we
Risk
do that?
is our
Because
business.
it's already tearing the ship apart.
Never tell them the odds.
Oh boy.
That's the other one.
All right. So you are going to attempt to do a control and science roll with a difficulty of 4. All right. This is a difficulty of 4.
Science and not engineering?
Sometimes we forget how easy it is.
Okay, I'll let you do engineering. Okay, engineering and control with a
Okay.
difficulty of 4. So did you want to try to use some of your momentum?
Yeah, I'll use 2 momentum.
All right, so that means you use 3 momentum to use 2 momentum.
Okay.
All right, so you get 4 die now.
Science officer, come help me.
Can I help?
He's in 10 forward having a snack.
Yeah,
Never
you can
mind, I
help.
don't need it. So I rolled a 12, a 10, 11, 11, and that's 17.
All right, well, very good. So you have successfully made a charge back into the beam, sending it back, and the orange beam kind of like kind of phases out, right, for a second, and the ship sort of stabilizes, right, and the power, all power comes back on, everybody's happy, right, and then the beam comes back, the orange beam comes back and takes the ship again.
Even
So
with the tractor beam still reversed?
Yeah, so you sort of sent a repulse back, and then the
No, like
orange
I'm turning
beam,
it on. Like it's on repulsed.
right, and then the orange beam sort of gets disabled a little bit, and then it sort of adapts and sends the beam back and recaptures the ship. All right, well, very good.
This is
Excellent.
some kind of board technology.
It is. It's an adapter.
All right, so what we have coming up next is you get an alert, and there is
What was that again?
So there is an urgent repair that needs to be made in a turbo lift, right? In order, so we need someone to do a fitness and security to go into the turbo lift and fix this repair.
Why do we care about a turbo lift when we're in this situation?
Not turbo lift, Jeffries tube. It's a Jeffries tube. So you have to go through the Jeffries tube, crawl through it, and get to this particular part of the ship to fix.
So what's wrong?
So there is an overload that's happening in the system, and if it doesn't get shut down, and it has to be done manually, then it will kind of blow up.
Kind of blew up.
It'll kind of just explode.
Where's it at?
In the Jeffries tube.
It's a Jeffries tube.
The Jeffries tube.
It's that one.
The one on the Galaxy class. Yeah.
That's right.
So it's close to engineering. Like you could crawl to it if you wanted to crawl to it. Is that what you want to do?
I mean, I don't know if I would leave engineering during something like this.
Do you want to get someone else? Order your lackey to do it?
Yeah, I'll call the bridge and say, hey, Captain, you want to give us some direction here?
Yes, we need somebody to go through the Jeffries tube.
I saw that coming.
Astounding leadership as always, Captain Jellicoe.
Yeah, he's
That
great.
vodka tonic he had earlier.
Ensign, you haven't been in Jeffrey's tubes yet.
You won't find it in time.
How big is Lieutenant Masters?
I don't know. Let's say he's the perfect height, 5'10".
How big am I?
How big do you want to be?
I don't know. Bigger than him.
So is anyone gonna? So the ship is about to explode. By the way,
So how is the entire ship gonna explode?
It'll be a cascading explosion.
Am I able to?
This is what happens when you like get all the nerds say fitness. That's what you're gonna have to do right now.
Am I small enough to enter this set?
I'm the smallest one,
Jefferson?
so if I need to go,
You gotta run down there, Slaw.
I can. Yeah, I'm the smallest
I'll run down
one
there.
here.
I just didn't know if there's a size requirement.
No, so that everyone can fit in the Jeffries tube.
I mean, a Klingon could fit in the Jeffries tube, so that's good.
Yeah, I guess I'll head down there.
All right, so this is gonna be a difficulty of 1. First thing, I just need you to do a fitness and security with a difficulty of 1.
Okay, that's an 8 total.
8 total. All right, and
I'm very fit.
Good luck.
is a difficulty of 1, right? So you only need 1. So you only need 1 success with 2. Do you want to use a momentum? This will be your last momentum using.
Do I have to say it?
No, you don't.
Or can I say it after?
You can save it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll first.
Okay, I'll roll just 2d20 still.
Yep.
That's an 18 and a 5. The 5 is successful.
The 5 helps you out. Fantastic. All right, now so we have Michael's character Minden is crawling through the Jeffries tube. Right, he's kind of crawling as fast as he can. He gets to the particular panel. He already knows how to do everything, so we don't need to roll for it again. He successfully is able to fix the problem. He crawls back out, and now you are all sort of like the most immediate danger has been fixed. Okay. All right. So what happens next? As you finish solving the numerous crises on the Pike, you feel a strange aura fill your body as you are transported off the ship. You materialize on the planet's surface. Since you are breathing comfortably and not suffering any adverse effects, you conclude it must be an M-class planet. One of the enormous geometrical structures visible with the naked eye from orbit now towers in front of you. This gigantic pentagonal cylinder must have a diameter of at least 10 kilometers and is so tall you cannot see the top. It appears to be made from a single piece of stone, as no seams or other joins are apparent.
So just the senior staff got teleported, or the entire crew got teleported?
You 4 have gone teleported. All right, so the rest
That's how this works in a Star Trek episode. Only the important people get teleported.
Feels very weird.
So all 4 of you have been transported. The Pike is obviously the rest of the crew is on the Pike right now. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna hit my communicator and say, Lieutenant.
Since
Commander,
I'm the only one with a communicator.
Lieutenant Commander Masters to or whatever your name is, Slaw, to the Pike.
All right, so are you calling the Pike? Are you calling Jellicoe right now?
Yeah, I'm calling the Pike.
All right, so you're calling the Pike. You hear a response from Captain Jellicoe. You recognize his voice. He says, Lieutenant Commander, what's going on?
Captain, inexplicably, 4 of us have been beamed down to the planet's surface, and we'd appreciate a ride back.
Be nice. I'd second the motion.
Lieutenant Commander, I can't hear you. What'd you say?
I'm obviously not on your ship. Come get us.
Lieutenant Commander, I can't, and then it cuts out the
You're the
communication with
worst fucking
the pike.
Yeah.
the communication cuts out, right?
Can we see the beam from where we are at?
You can see the beam. The beam is coming from, so there's two structures. One is right in front of you, and then right behind it is a second larger structure, and that has two orange beams emanating from this monolith structure, right? So you see two orange beams, one going towards one direction and the other one going to the other direction.
So do any of us have tricorders?
Yeah, I'll say that you all have tricorders. How about that? You all had them on your body.
I do have a tricorder.
All right. Does anyone want to do anything?
Yeah, someone scan the beams and the things and the stuff.
All right, I'll actually let you.
Is that an official order, sir?
I'll let you generate some momentum here. So this is a difficulty of 0 with a reason and science. Who wants to do the reason and science?
Reason and science.
Science officer sounds about right.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Science.
So 2d20s, Mike.
Okay, I pull out my little tricorder and point it up to the sky.
Right.
It's a 5 and a 2, both successful.
All right, well, very good. I'll let you generate 2 momentum, so you have a total of 3 momentum right now. So you're as Minto is Amendo Minden. There you go. Mentos, the fresh maker.
It is.
Yes, Mentos, the fresh maker, is scanning the monolith. You notice that the monolith before you is at least 2 kilometers tall, and its base must be about 300 meters on the side. The points where the 2 orange beams emerge from the monolith are on the opposite side, not currently in view. You can kind of see it. A large metallic case rests on the ground at the base of the monolith. It is open, but you cannot see inside from this distance. Okay.
So there's nothing else like anywhere around us. It's just barren wasteland, and then these 2 monoliths.
No, let's say that there's structures. Like it's almost like an alien city that you're in the middle of, right? There's
any life form readings that we got?
So you're scanning. There's no alien life form readings. Actually, you know what? You do scan. You scan 8 life forms, and it's about
Other than ourselves.
Other than yourself, you scan 8 life forms that are sort of dead ahead.
Any other nearby power sources that the tricorder picks up?
You're noticing like unusual readings, like unusual power readings, but the tricorder doesn't recognize the technology. It doesn't recognize the source of the power either.
All right. Well, let's head toward the thing that brought us here.
All right. So, would you like to go towards the life forms?
Well, they're both straight ahead, right?
They are.
Yeah.
All right. So you're on your way there, and when you get there, you see 8 creatures stand at the base of the monolith, looking up at the orange beams, exiting the structure at the top about 50 meters up. From this distance, you can see that all the creatures are humanoid. 2 appear human, 2 are Klingon, 1 is Vulcan, another is Romulan, and the final pair are Trill. The Romulan looks at your group and points, causing the rest of the strange group to look at your direction. Then they all go back to looking at the monolith without a second glance at your presence.
Are any of them wearing Starfleet uniforms?
2 of them are wearing Starfleet uniforms.
What was the guys' names again from the ship?
The names are Lieutenant Jana Frey and Ensign Camellia Chara.
I yell out those names, see if they look at me.
2 humans look at you and kind of notice you.
I point to Lieutenant Masters like he said it, not me.
They kind of look at you. They kind of look, and they're kind of excited to see you. Like they all 8 of these people seem very excited to be there.
To be there or to see us?
To be there and to see you. Well,
Oh,
the
so
two humans are excited to see you.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up to him
All right.
and say, "Hello, fellow disciples. What are we worshiping today?"
Is that really the direction you're going to go with?
Yeah.
Okay, so the
I
crew
don't remember
members,
seeing humor on your sheet there, bud.
the two human members kind of look at you. They look at your rank insignia, and they go, "Lieutenant Commander, it's so great that you're here. Aren't you excited about being part of this?"
Praise be.
Okay.
Oh, dear God. Can I shoot
That's-
Lieutenant Commander Master?
Is there any of that?
I think he's been taken over by an alien. I think I need to relieve him of his command.
Anything else you want to? Yeah,
Can
go
I scan, like, kind of subtly scan them to see if there's anything wonky going on?
Oh, like a medical
Sure.
scan?
Yeah, medical scan.
Yeah, so I'll let you do a medical scan with difficulty of 1. So this will be a medicine and presence. Presence and medicine.
Okay.
Difficulty of 1.
That is a 3 and a 15, and my number is 13.
So 1 success. It was a difficulty of 1, so it is successful. All right. So as you're sort of scanning, kind of hiding it, there's nothing interestingly wrong about them. You do notice an unusual wavelength, brain wavelength that's going on. That's sort of on top of their normal brain waves.
Is there any way that I can try to trace that?
What do you mean by that?
Like, is it just like an extra set of brainwaves, or is it like a kind of, I don't know, like a beam of some sort, or a like traceable like radio signal or something?
Yeah, so that's inconclusive. That information is
Okay.
inconclusive. Yeah.
So I will kind of slip back behind the rest of them, and there's something overlapping their brainwaves.
Okay.
I mean, they're worshiping a big rock. They're obviously all addled.
Yeah, but there's many ways that you can be
I
addled.
immediately do an insight check on myself
Jonathan. He's a business owner.
to see if my brain waves are still normal.
Okay, so you're sort of reacting to what Asha did, and you're kind of like, "Oh, I need to check myself," right?
Just hold the tricorder up to your head.
So you hold the tricorder up to your head, and you don't really notice anything unusual going on with you.
So are they just standing there watching, or are they like?
They're standing there watching. They're kind of, some of them are talking with each other. They're kind of like looking around to see if they can try to find. Look, it looks like they're kind of looking for something.
What was the name of the alien race?
The telecall.
So then I'll ask them. We came searching for the telecall. Are they going to grace us with their presence?
All right. So who are you asking?
Just one of the humans.
Okay. So the human kind of looks at you and goes, "Lieutenant Commander, the telecall? I don't know what you're talking about."
The people who called us here. They are known by many names. Who called you here?
I don't. No one called me here, Commander, Lieutenant Commander. I don't understand. I'm here for the monolith, just like you are.
Well, what are you looking for then?
And you kind of notice when you ask that question, like the human kind of gets really confused, like, and it doesn't really know how to answer, and so the human kind of looks at it and goes, I don't know.
All right. So there's no like
They're
visible
here and they don't,
intrigue.
and they know why they're here, but we don't know why they're here, and they won't tell us why they're here.
Or they just don't know.
They're blinded by the light.
How far off is that metal box from this group?
You could be right there next to you. You want to look in there?
Yeah, let's see what that is.
All right, so you open up the case, and it's filled with emergency supplies like water, rations. There's some like food. There's like various types of food, but the food is like there's human food, there's Klingon food, there's different types of food for different alien races. There are some blankets. There's an emergency surgery kit. There's a couple of disruptor pistols in there as well, and a couple of phasers.
I want to grab one of the disruptor pistols.
All right, so you grab one of those pistols.
I think we need to grab all the weapons so that they can't have them.
Did you kind of want to get like in the way in between?
Just in case they decide to go for the other pistols, I think we need to go ahead and remove the weapons from the box.
Yeah, sounds good. So none of the they don't really seem interested in the box right now. They're kind of just looking around, kind of confused. Some of them seem to be kind of confused why they're even there.
Yeah, can we just walk around and look like the base to see if there's any apparent way in?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So you're looking around.
Can we scan for any doors?
Yeah, and like scan for tunnels that like lead out like under the ground.
Okay, so yeah, you're scanning for so like a doorway or a tunnel, and you're getting some readings. It seems like there is an interior to the structure, right? But you're not exactly sure how to get in. Like you can kind of assume that there's a way to get in there, but you're not exactly sure.
So scans don't show any panels of any kind on the.
You don't. So it's and in fact, yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's the tricorder say it's made out of?
So it's an unusual metal. It's like this weird mixture of like metal and stone. So it's kind of like an odd sort of technology / organic material.
Can we go to another side of it to where the followers are not looking at us and maybe fire a low intensity beam phaser at it to see what the reaction is?
Okay, so you're walking past
because I don't want them to see us shooting at the
All right, thing. So is someone gonna fire a phaser?
I'll walk around the side and kind of get out of sight of everyone and take my phaser, and I'm just on like a low setting and shoot it just to see.
Okay, so you are firing at the structure.
I'm firing at the structure.
All right, so as Slaw pulls out his phaser, he fires it at the structure. The structure sort of glows and then sends a shot back at Slaw and hits him.
Oh crap!
All right, so you're going to get hit with a with 4 D6s. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
4 D6s.
All right, so I got you here. So 1 is a hit, and then 1 is that's a hit, and that's a hit with an effect. Okay.
Ow, that hurt.
All right,
Here,
so
man,
you've
say, oh, good heavens!
Thank God we have the doctor this time.
So you've dropped stress. So you have been inflicted with stress. So you've dropped down 1, and then
I was already stressed out when I got beamed down to the planet.
Also, you sort of get knocked down, right from the phaser hit.
So I've been blown back. I've been blown back, and now I'm on the ground, right? That's
right.
What you're saying? Okay.
And on your way down, you sort of kind of hurt your arm a little bit. So all other tasks from now on will have an extra difficulty of 1.
Ooh.
Can I go over there and try to help him somehow?
All right, so Asha, you run over there real quick with your medical tricorder.
Asha, help me.
Did you want to try to
come off during the blast? Did his shoes come off?
Could have.
No, his shoes remained on. Asha, are you gonna try to heal him? Is that what you're gonna try to do?
Yes. Either heal the
I
stress,
appreciate
or if
that.
I can, try to remove that effect on him. I don't know if that
Okay.
is possible.
All right, so I will allow you to do a difficulty of 2 heal with a we'll do presence and medicine. Presence and medicine.
I do get through field medicine I get to ignore a difficulty if any of it is applied for not having proper tools with me.
Nice.
So not having a full med bay.
Okay, so it's a difficulty of 1.
Okay. Let's see here. That is a 9 and a 17, and the presence of medicine is a 13 for me.
So one of them was a success.
Yes.
So thank goodness you had that focus or that value or discipline, whatever it's called. All right, so you successfully removed the injury. Unfortunately, he still has the stress, right? So but he no longer has that extra difficulty added to him.
I want to just walk up and like touch the stone.
Okay, so you sort of walk up. You're touching the stone. It feels like stone, like it's sort of grady. It's kind of nothing really particular fascinating about the material.
Other than it blasts a hole in humans when you shoot it. That's what happens.
All right, so one of the trills notices that you are touching the stone and kind of comes up to you and says, "What are you doing?"
I'm petting the furry wall. I just wanted to be closer to our monolith.
Do you know how to get in?
No. Do you know how to get in?
No, that's what we're trying to figure out right now.
Does your symbiote have any memories about how we get in?
I don't have a symbiote. I'm not one of those trills.
Oh, so you're one of the worthless ones.
You're a worthless trill. You're a wannabe. What you are.
See
Just a
Asha
human
starting to
with
sweat a
spots.
few feet away.
Yeah.
I ask them, have they been anywhere else besides here?
So one of the trills says, "Yeah, I was on a research vessel, and then the trill kind of like gets confused for a second, and says, then I came here, like you, right?"
Well, have you been anywhere else on this planet?
When we got here, we've just been trying to figure out how to get in.
Where is everybody else's shuttles?
So
Like, we got
who are you
bi-
talking to?
I'm just talking to the group here. Like, did we scan for shuttles? Did we we got taken down here, but they
Yeah.
stole a shuttle. Where's the
Yeah.
shuttle?
Yeah, let's ask the group.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys park your shuttles? We might be double parked.
So they all point to various locations nearby, sort of like, oh, we went over there, we landed over there, we landed over there, right?
Well, I just saw that one fly away.
There it went.
How so did you avoided the beam when you came in?
You're talking about what? You're talking about the orange beam up there?
Yeah.
Did the orange beam do something to you?
No, I was just curious.
All right, so this conversation gets interrupted by 3 Klingons transported down next to you guys. All right, so in a blink of an eye, 3 Klingon warriors are standing in front of you. The many scars they wear indicate they're veterans of many battles. They look around in anger and confusion. One of them shouts, "What is the meaning of this? Why did you attack our ship and teleport us here?"
They were all here for the same reasons, buddy. Calm
So,
down, I say.
It's like, how dare you tell us to calm down? We came here to track down 2 traitors that killed one of our own, and stole a craft. Don't you dare tell us to calm down, Starfleet.
I bet I know where they're at, and I just point to the group.
Oh no.
Their mind is all discombobbled, I say. They're not.
All right,
they're
so,
not.
So the what appears to be the commanding officer pulls out his dagger and starts walking over to the two Klingons.
I shoot him with my phaser.
No, let it do. Let it do.
So what are we doing? So what are you doing?
Let's see.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. My character wouldn't do that.
What do we want to do in this situation? All right, so
I try to talk him down. I just try to talk him down.
All right.
Yeah.
You
All right,
say-
so this
you
is-
say
so-
say Mev, just Klingon for stop.
so are we gonna do?
Got my
We're going to
translator
do. You're gonna do a control and command. Is that what you want to do, Michael? Or I should say, Minton.
up. Minden.
Control and
If I'm
command.
trying to, what about reason? Would reason not work here?
Tell me why reason would work.
Well, I'm trying to reason with him, telling him
But it's a Klingon.
Yeah.
that his
What-
mind is all controlled by something else.
Is that what you say to him?
Yeah, relatively.
There is no glory in killing the weak-minded.
Is that what you're saying? He's like, okay. So he turns to Jeremy. He says, or Master, he's like, what are you talking about, weak-minded? He just killed one of our own. How is he weak-minded?
He's not in control of his mind right now.
What are you talking about? He's not in control of his mind.
There's some sort of waves that are theoretically, at least the working theory is, kind of making them lose their faculties a little bit. They're not in their right minds at the moment.
Are you telling me that these two, and he uses a Klingon slur, are you telling me that these two have been controlled by something?
Or someone.
Who would do this?
That is what we are trying to figure out right now.
Join the club, little buddy.
All right, so he kind of puts his knife
This sounds a
in
bit-
his in his sleeve, whatever, and he kind of walks up and he starts yelling at the other Klingons in Klingon, and they're sort of talking back to each other in Klingon. Does anyone speak Klingon? Well, I guess the universal.
We have
translator.
universal translators.
Mhm.
True. All right, so they're yelling back and forth. One person so he's calling him a traitor, blah blah, and the other Klingon has no idea what he's talking about. So the other Klingon's like, "What are you talking? We didn't kill anybody. We just came here to see the monolith." So they're kind of going back and forth, arguing with each other. They start shoving each other a little bit. Does anyone want to do anything?
It's Klingon business.
Yeah, let them be Klingons for a little bit. Maybe something will happen. Maybe that'll cure it. Let them be Klingons. Let them beat the
All
crap
right,
out of each other. Do it.
So the person in charge of the three Klingons is arguing with the other two Klingons, and the person in charge gets frustrated. He's had enough. He pulls out his dagger and he tries to stab the Klingon. The Klingon sort of dodges that and grabs the knife and stabs the guy in charge and sort of stabs him in the stomach
Oh boy.
and kills him.
Mm.
And the other two Klingons, they pull out their daggers and they're going at it. They're fighting each other, right? They're sort of slashing each other, fighting, and to the point where there is one person remaining. Everybody else has been sort of stabbed and sort of and like has horrible injuries, and they're all kind of laying down. But with one person, he's like a shoulder. It's been stabbed by a dagger, and he's kind of just standing, holding it. And he's like, he looks at you, the Starfleet officer, and he's like, "What is happening? What is this?"
I don't know, but you just killed your whole team, and I shoot him.
I killed them. I killed them in self-defense.
Oh man.
Are they all dead, or can I try to stabilize?
You want to try to stabilize them?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just say that Asha, you walk over there, and two of them are dead. like they're dead. Other one has sort of like a very serious injury, one where you need surgery, right? So
Well, there's a surgery kit over in that box.
Okay, so you pick up the surgery kit.
Mm-hmm.
You want to try to perform that right now?
Yeah, because I have a whole bunch of stuff that lets me do that.
All right, difficulty of 2. So this is going to be a
Which field medicine will knock down to 1.
So you're gonna do medicine and insight because of Cleon.
Medicine. Oh, I also have. Can multiple talents be applied at one time?
Sure.
Does it have
Well,
the
one per thing.
Okay, because I have field medicine, which drops the difficulty for not having a full med bay, but I also have quick study, which allows me to ignore difficulty due to unfamiliar procedures or unfamiliar races.
All right, so we'll just say a difficulty of 1.
Okay. You said insight and medicine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Insight and medicine is 13. And I got a 17 and a 7, so I did get 1 success.
All right, very good. So you've successfully stabilized the remaining Klingon. This Klingon was the guy who was in charge, who originally was upset with everybody. So you successfully stabilized him. All right, and then you have another Klingon, which is one of the Klingons who was there originally. He's kind of he's injured, but he's kind of fine.
Okay. I will just double check and make sure and just... I won't say anything because I don't want to piss him off even more.
Oh, what else is in the box?
So we kind of talked about it had different food. It had different,
That's right.
like it had weapons and that sort of thing. So like
anything else in the surrounding area?
Just the same structures and everything of before. All right. So now that after all this started happening, you notice that a door out of nowhere just appears on the monolith and slowly starts opening up.
Maybe
Does
we just need
anyone
to
come out?
spill some blood.
That doesn't bode well.
Blood was spilled, the door opened. That's right. Yeah, does anybody come out of the door, or is it just open?
You don't see anyone coming out.
I walk in.
Yeah, we'll go in.
All right. Entering the pentagonal monolith, you find an interior passageway lit by glowing runes on the walls, or runes on the wall and ceiling, cutting toward the center of the huge tower. The passage continues ahead and then turns a corner. The people you found on the planet seem a bit shaken by the opening of the doorway. After the slightest hesitation, they run. All of them are running forward, trying to get to the hallway as quickly as possible. So they're running. They're behind you, and now they're sort of pushing you out of the way and running around the corner.
Wait, we're here to help.
So they ignore you. All right, so when everybody turns the corner and you notice that, you see a flash of light and then you hear a scream. You peer into the passageway to see the Romulan get zapped by an energy beam just as she was preparing to turn the corner. You see the faint glowing outline of her skeleton before she evaporates into smoke.
Romulan smoke.
And all the other the original 8s kind of stop. And kind of they're kind of confused on what to do. All right.
Scan the corridor.
All right. Before you scan the corridor, the Vulcan kind of walks slowly up to the beam, and he's hesitant because he saw what happened, but he's walking right towards the beam. And you notice
probably shouldn't touch it.
Does anyone want to try to stop?
Let him touch it.
At this point, I'm just like,
Let him touch it.
I have all of
to,
the doctor values that say don't.
I want to set my phaser to a wide-angle stun and shoot them all.
Okay. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a difficulty of 2, and this is going to be
Careful, that might backfire.
this is going to be a daring and security with a difficulty of 2. You do have some momentum you use if you want to use some momentum.
All right. So that's a 3 and an 11. So 1. So 1 is good. I'll use 1 momentum.
So now you're down to 2.
And that is a 1.
All right, so we'll go ahead and you bank another momentum because you got 2 out of that. All right, so Lieutenant Masters fires a wide beam. Luckily, everybody was in front of you, so when he shot all of the remaining people that were there, and they all sort of dropped down to the ground. Okay.
Nice.
Can I drag them back out of the monolith?
Is that what you want to do? You want to drag them out?
Yeah.
Okay, so you sort of drag them all out. All right, so you kind of place them in. Well, there's 7 of them now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One of them was that Klingon that was originally there that survived. There's an additional Klingon outside, the one that was beamed down. Right. So you have 8.
Now we're back up to 8.
You're back up to 8. What do you want to do now?
How tall did you say this thing was?
Very tall.
So tall we couldn't see the
Did
top,
you say
I
like
believe.
10 kilometers or something?
And how wide is it at the base?
What did I say? 30?
30 meters?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like we had one
wasn't
side that was
very
fairly
wide.
small, but
Yeah.
the in total like width of the entire monolith was larger by a lot.
And the beam is coming out of this monolith?
There's 2 beams coming out of the monolith.
I want to walk back in. I'm going to set my phaser to overload, drop it, and run back out.
Okay. All right. So,
And
all right, Jeremy sets his, so it's a daring and security with a difficulty of 2.
So daring and security. Okay. So 1 passes. I'll use the momentum.
All right, so now you're down to
And
2
that
again.
is a 6. And I have daring of 8. And so that's 9, so that passes.
All right, so you run out. The phaser explodes, right, causing sort of like a shaking of the monolith, and then it sort of kind of like tempers down again. So you kind of cause an interior explosion, and then it kind of, but the structure still remains,
And the beam's still going.
and the 2 beams are still going.
Is there anything reflective around?
Say it again.
Is there anything reflective?
What do you mean, like a mirror?
Maybe like a part of a ship that's reflective?
Or is the box shiny?
We can go get a shuttlecraft and fly it into it.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So the beams are too high for you to reach. The 2 beams are sort of too high for you to
But
reach.
there's
don't
a
think-
beam inside though.
There's that it's like an electric force field kind of a looking thing. So when he tried to go through it, the force field sort of evaporated him. Does anyone want to go just check it out with a tricorder?
Yeah, I'll go and scan it like I originally
Yeah,
said.
I'll do
Hey,
that.
Jeremy,
I
want to
have
blow
a-
the thing up?
I have a talent I can use for that, I think.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
I'll go up there. I'll go up there and I'll just check it out. I have this
All right, so you're using your tricorder. You're sort of trying to deactivate the security system. So this is going to be we'll say daring and science with a
Okay,
difficulty of 2.
I have this thing called meticulous analysis. When I encounter an unidentified phenomena through sensors, I may immediately make a swift task without the need to spend momentum or an increase in difficulty. This task may only be used to attempt to analyze the preliminary data you have received using reason plus science and a relevant focus.
All right, so we'll just say reason plus science, and I'll allow you to roll again, or I'll allow you to do an extra die without using momentum. So you have three d20s with a reason and science with a difficulty of 2.
That's a 16, 7, and 2. 2 pass, 1 fail.
All right, so you successfully. So you're plugging in. You're sort of just deciphering. You're kind of like a linguistic expert. So you're sort of able to like calculate how to deactivate the security system, and the security system falls down. The blue sort of thing goes away. So when you can kind of see into the center of the monolith now, do you want to walk in?
Yeah, I will.
All right, so is everybody walking in?
Yeah, I'll walk in.
Yeah.
All right, so when you walk in, you notice that there are like an alien like computer systems all around. Does anyone want to try to like mess with anything?
I'll mess with the computer.
The last time I messed with something, I got injured. So.
I'll do some stuff with the computer.
Yeah, I would like to not mess with it, but to just kind of go look at him and see if I can figure out anything.
Yeah.
Because my cultural flexibility lets me learn about unfamiliar cultures.
And I'll walk around with my tricorder, just scanning everything around me.
All right, you're kind of messing with different technology. You're not really sure what's happening. You're sort of touching buttons, everything, and then as the sort of like a display appears, like a holographic display, sort of kind of appears. It's a really like a bluish hue of a display appears. As the dazzling display streams information at you from all directions, an explosion rocks the monolith. So it's like a kind of explosion, and it sort of starts to shake. All of the displays go dark simultaneously, leaving you in pitch black. Then one display appears, showing you a holographic representation of the Bacchus system. It shows the planet you are on, with beams of energy bolting out and destroying the other planets in the system. A placid voice speaks throughout the control room, saying, "Your access of our technology has put you in danger. This system will be destroyed. Use the teleportation field to return to your ship and leave this star system immediately." The voice repeats the message as a purple beam of light plays a spotlight on the floor. All right, so in front of you, you see sort of like a panel, sort of like lift up. And remember, the voice is saying, use the teleportation field to return you to your ship.
Let's go grab those people and drag them back in here.
All right, so you're going running in there, sort of like everything's shaking. So you're sort of kind of like things are crumbling down. You're kind of running out of time. Let's say you grab who are you going to grab first?
The Starfleet officers.
Okay, yeah. So are each one of you grabbing a body? What's happening? How are you handling this? Because this is sort of like the monolith is sort of crumbling around.
Are they still unconscious, or are they coming to?
They're still unconscious.
There is one awake Klingon still out there.
Yeah, so there's 4 of us and an awake Klingon, so we can get 5 people back anyway, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and so that leaves 2 people.
I mean, really, the Klingon can carry 2. Probably the Tellarite too.
All right, so you're trying to grab people. Things are starting to crumble. Boulders are falling down. Okay, is anyone going to try to do anything?
I mean, if I see boulders coming, I'll shoot them with my phaser.
If Acidtrain just blew up.
Say it again.
Is there anything on the computers I could be doing?
Yeah, so the new panel just arose up from the ground, and the voice is saying, use the teleportation technology to teleport yourself back to your ship.
So the panel was a control panel, not a stand on this teleportation pad panel.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
the other
well,
option?
maybe communications are working now. I try to call the ship to see if the communications are working.
All right, so you try to communicate.
Yeah,
so what do you say?
Can you hear us now?
All right, so as soon as you do that, you are all, as you're sort of are trying to figure out there's a lot of chaos happening. You are all transported to a new location. As your senses return following the transport, you first notice you are on the bridge of a small craft. The air is stale and reeks of Klingons. A dozen shot Klingons turn and level a dozen disruptors at you. What is this intrusion? The closest yells at you, his fingers dangerously twitching on the disruptor trigger.
Did we come up with all of the others, including the healed Klingon?
Yeah, we'll say you were all there, and then everybody else has sort of been transported to the Klingon vessel as well.
Okay.
I say, calm down. We just saved your people.
Okay. You saved our people, so I'm guessing there's dead bodies down there.
Where are the other two?
There's dead Klingons. So he's kind of pissed off about this. He's like, you saved our people. There's dead Klingons on the ground.
They died in battle.
You did that yourself.
Yeah. Died in battle.
I just say, do it. I can take it.
We did save the commander.
Someone's going to have to do a daring and command here of a difficulty of 2. All right, so all of them have pointed their disruptors at you. So someone's going to have to try to talk them down with a daring and command.
Would it be daring or presence?
This is going to be daring because they all have their pistols at you. So you're kind of...
I have an 8 and a 1.
I've got an 11 and a 4.
But I am a people person.
Yeah, I've got team dynamics and composure as foci.
I also have composure. If I assist somebody, though, can I assist in this role? Because I do have a talent that will help if somebody needs an assist.
I will assist. Oh, I will allow assist, yeah.
Okay, so somebody else roll so that I can assist.
Okay.
I can do it. That's pretty good. Sounds pretty good.
All right, so we're going to have Slaw attempt to talk the Klingons down.
Yeah.
With a daring and command.
Klingon Tellarite.
Yeah, I'm the closest. Right?
Interactions.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember, he's he doesn't back down. He doesn't back down.
Listen here.
All right, so you have a daring command. All right, so go ahead. You're gonna use a moment? Do you want to use a momentum at all? You have 2.
So what? So line it up again for me. It's a daring and a
command.
Command, and its difficulty what?
Of 2.
2. Okay, hang on. 6 and a 16, and I'll use a momentum. 1.
All right, which counts as 2 successes, right? So you have.
So we bank another momentum.
You bank another momentum.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Well, very good. So Slaw sort of talks to the Klingon in charge, kind of explains the situation, kind of gets in the Klingon's face, right? A little bit, right? Because he's sort of he's trying to intimidate the Klingon, even though Slaw is significantly shorter than the Klingon. He kind of gets in his face a little bit. The Klingon looks at him and kind of laughs and says, "Ah, I like this Starfleet officer," right? So sort of he kind of he kind of buys what happened, and then one of the another Klingon there says, Starfleet, we need your help. Our chief engineer was killed when we entered this system, and our systems are failing in engineering, and we need your help as soon as possible. Does any of you have any expertise in repairing engineering systems?
Points at Masters.
I point to Lieutenant Masters.
Lieutenant Commander. Yeah, I'll go down there.
All right, so is it just going to be you going there, or is anybody else going there?
I can go help. I have a little bit. I've got a little bit of engineering, so I can go and assist if I need to.
Asha will stay where they landed, trying to hail the pike.
All right, so the warp core is overloading right now. All right, so you're gonna have to fix this. All right, so this is what we're going to do. This is going to be a difficulty of 5. Going to be a difficulty of 5. I'm actually using my threat to make it a difficulty of 5. All right, so who is initiating the first the attempt here?
You probably should, Lieutenant Commander.
Now you have 2 momentum, so you can use a die.
Are we dealing with a computer or anything here?
Yeah, there's computers involved.
Like a computer console?
There's computer consoles involved.
So what do you want us to roll?
I want you to roll so difficulty 5, so I need James Masters to roll d20s, and if you're going to use a momentum or not.
Yeah, what are the attributes that we're rolling for?
Oh, yeah, very good. All right, so this is going to be a presence and engineering.
Okay. I have a focus in warp physics. Does that help me out any?
Sure. So that just gives you an extra if it's below a certain number in engineering.
Okay. So, there's no way we can make this, right?
So you would have to hope.
I'd have to get 3 magically. No, even then we couldn't make it, right? Because he can only roll 1d20. So I recommend ejecting the warp core.
All right. Very good. So, all right. So the Klingon says, "Okay, we will eject the core." He's kind of messing with the panels, and it's kind of not responding very well, right? So he's like, blah. He's like cursing in Klingon, and he says, "I need your help, Starfleet. Eject this core." So this is going to be a difficulty of 3 with the same attributes.
Okay, so I will use a momentum. And that is a 9, a 6, and a 16. And you said presence and engineering?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 15. So 2 passed. Is 6 low enough to get me the extra with my warp focus?
No, because you have to be below your engineering. So someone needs to assist you real quick, huh?
Yep.
Who's going to assist you?
Well, Slaw's right there, right?
Yeah, I'm right here. I can assist.
So same stats.
And I've got push the limits. Does that help me here? Whenever you succeed at the evasive action task, you may spend 2 momentum. If you do, the ship does not suffer the increased difficulty for attacks normally caused by the evasive action.
This is more like a combat situation.
Is that why I'm? Yeah, I was about to say, is that combat?
It's combat. Yeah, it's a combat situation.
Okay, so never mind.
But you have 1d20.
Okay. 3.
All right. So you're as Lieutenant Commander Masters is sort of trying to figure out how to eject the core. He's having a difficult time. Slaw rolls in there. They're all working together, and they successfully dump the core. And the core sort of drops down and explodes, and so the ship kind of shakes. You're kind of like shaken down. Some of you are falling down. All right, so now you still have the orange beam controlling the ship, the Klingon vessel. So did it pull the warp core down toward it? The orange beam?
Yeah.
We'll say maybe it was pulling it down a little bit, but then exploded.
Yeah, but the exploding warp core wasn't enough to disrupt the beam?
No.
This is one crazy.
These are some of those aliens that they found in the 23rd century.
All right. So you were able to do a little bit. You were able to accumulate some knowledge of the technology that you were when you were down there. So you are able to use that information to attempt to disable the beam again.
So right now, let me get this straight. So the Pike and the Klingon ship are suffering effects from both of these beams.
Right.
No other ships in the area, correct?
No other ships in the air.
Can we see the Pike?
Yeah, like our communications working now that we're on the Klingon ship?
All right, so do you want to try to call?
Asha was trying to call the entire time they were in the engineering bay.
Yeah, did it work? Asha, did it work?
All right, so you call the USS Pike. Jellicoe comes up and it says, "This is Captain Pike. Is this our missing crew members?"
Yes, this is Asha. We're on a Klingon vessel. I think you can see us. We were on the planet, though.
Yeah, we were unable to scan what was happening on the planet, but we are reading your life signs on the Klingon vessel. What are you doing on the Klingon vessel?
We just got teleported onto it. Not quite sure how. That's going to be a question for our engineer or science officer, I'm sure. Is your teleporter working on the Pike? Because we might need to get off this ship soon.
And there's injuries.
Yeah, and there's injuries that need to be treated.
Our transporter is working. Are you in need of us to transport everybody on the vessel over here? Because we are in a very similar situation that you are in.
Yeah, but you have a warp core.
And we are Starfleet officers, Captain.
I will get back to you, and we'll turn towards the Klingons and get. So
one of the Klingons sort of grabs you and says, "Starfleet, we are not leaving this vessel if we can save it."
Okay, so we're currently on the Klingon ship being still pulled, right? We're still being pulled by this orange beam.
Yep.
Lieutenant Commander, if we take the Klingon ship and point it at the source of the beam, put it on full impulse, get everybody out onto our ship, and ram the Klingon ship into the structure, it might set the Pike free, and we can take the Klingons home.
I'll allow you to propose that to the Klingon.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that was.
Ideally, after he's let go of Asha's arm, so she can move away.
While he's doing that, I want to.
So I'll run back up to the bridge.
Yeah, I want to talk to the Klingon engineer and ask him what their stock of torpedoes looks like.
So the engineer is dead. So the guy who's there says, "We have several torpedoes. Why?"
We need to ready them, put them in the tubes.
Okay, so are you telling Starfleet? Are you saying that we are going to fire at the orange beam? We've already tried to do that before. It didn't work.
What didn't work about it?
When we tried to fire our torpedoes, they jammed.
Yeah, that's why we're going to do it manually.
Okay, all right. How do we do that, Starfleet?
with your hands.
Also, where is your cloaking device?
It's a cloaking device. Okay. It seems to be functioning properly. Why?
I heard a tale one time about cloak torpedoes, and we're gonna do it.
Okay. All right. So you're going to cloak some torpedoes
Just ram the ship into the...
and shoot them. Is that what you're going to try to do? Is that what you're proposing?
Yeah, we're gonna manually arm them and manually launch them, and allow the beam to pull them down.
All right. I will
know what's going to happen.
I will allow this. All right. So, the Klingon sort of gets excited over the idea. He's like, we're going to fight our enemies together, Starfleet, right, whatever it is. All right, so you start working on this, and it's going to be a difficulty of 3, right, with an engineering and insight.
Okay. Hey, science officer, you want to help me out here?
I can, Mr. Masters.
So I got a 6 and a 12, and insight is 8, engineering is 5, so that's 13. So I got 2. If you can get 1.
I just need to roll 1 die.
One d20, yeah. And it's insight and engineering.
That's a 15. And I needed below 14.
Okay, can I use a momentum?
Are we working with what are we working with?
Engineering.
Torpedoes.
Yeah.
Torpedoes.
Never mind.
He's going to use a momentum. So now you're down to 1 momentum. Go ahead, Jeremy.
That's a 13. If it meets it.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay.
All right. So this was not what I was expecting to happen, but let's go with it. All right. So you've placed cloaking devices on the torpedoes.
Here's how I want to launch them.
And you are manually launching the torpedoes. Okay. So you fire 3, boom, 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 towards the orange beam, right? You wait a couple of seconds and you hear 3 explosions. Bam, bam, bam. And the orange beam releases, and the Klingon bird of prey is no longer being held by the orange beam.
Full impulse. Evasive maneuvers.
All right. So you're
yelling Klingon that I.
Where are you going?
Spot. Just we'll call it the Master's maneuver. Just
the Master's
spinning around randomly.
Oh,
it should be noted that the pike is still has an orange beam attached to it.
Can we put a tractor beam on the pike?
Jellicoe didn't care enough to get us, so we're Klingons now.
we're part of the Klingon crew now. Can we put a tractor beam on the pike as we full impulse by them and try to pull them away from the orange beam?
All right. So is that what we're wanting to do with the Klingon bird of prey?
Sure.
All right. So you put the tractor beam onto the pike, and you're sort of trying to pull it, but it's just not budging. That orange beam has it pretty good.
Do we have any more torpedoes?
You have more torpedoes. Do you want to fire the torpedoes?
Welcome.
Can we?
Asha will warn the pike first. We are not firing at you. We're trying to get you out of the beam.
Can we cloak and then skirt near it, underneath it, outside the area of the beam, and then fire into the beam?
Sure. All right. So that's what you're doing. You cloak, then you uncloak to be able to fire. You fire the torpedoes. It hits the other beam that has the USS Pike, and it disrupts the beam, and the beam is no longer holding the USS Pike.
Yeah.
Now you're getting a call from Captain Jellicoe. He's calling Lieutenant Masters or Lieutenant Commander Masters He's like, Lieutenant Commander Masters.
His arch enemy.
Lieutenant Commander Masters, you somehow disabled the orange beam. Thanks for doing that.
It's like, yeah, no thanks to you.
Thanks for being useless, Captain. So, what's the current status of the shuttles of the Pike?
Which
the
shuttle
they couldn't
that
have come to get us?
I'm assuming that they were unable to, like, the orange beam was stopping the shuttles from leaving the ship. All right. Is that okay with you?
The launch bay doors wouldn't open. Is that what you're saying?
All right.
See,
So
Jeremy signed on to be the chief engineer. You promoted him. Now he's gunning for captain.
Yeah.
Captain, we recommend that you beam us over. We grab this Klingon ship in a tractor beam, and we leave at warp 1 from the system.
all right. It sounds good to me. Be prepared to be transported over. It looks like we're going to have dinner guests tonight. And then he kind of sort of like it sort of fades to black, and the Star Trek theme comes starts playing, right? All right. So as the USS Pike leaves the quickly collapsing Bacchus system, because as you start to leave the planet, you notice that the planet actually starts crumbling in, right? So it's starting to crumble in and being destroyed. You're being hailed by Admiral Stoker of Starfleet. She asked the Pike to rendezvous with her ship, and she requires a report on what the crew saw while on the planet, and orders the crew to turn over any recordings of data they may have collected on the planet. As a final order, Stoker tells the crew to tell no one of what they saw on this planet in either an official or unofficial manner. Once she's certain the crew will hold to her orders, she and her ship warp away, and the Pike and her crew are left to pursue their next assignment. Da, 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 da. There you go. That's it. There you go. That is the conclusion of that episode. I was not expecting us to be able to get to the whole thing. I was supposed to be a two-parter. Very good.
How much content did we miss?
No content.
Oh, really?
There's some side stuff that I could have done if I wanted to, right? So, but for the most part, I will say, Jeremy, your torpedo thing was not supposed to happen, but you were determined, so I allowed it to happen. Very good.
Would the Klingon ship being plummeted towards the planet, would that have worked? Would they have gone? Would all the Klingons been boarded to the Pike? Would they have been okay with it?
I don't know. Maybe I would have allowed that. It seemed like you guys did not want to try to disable the beam again, even though I told you got additional information.
What
Destruction.
If you would have tried to disable the beam again, I would have. It would have been you would have been able to.
Before we were beamed away.
No, when you got beamed onto the Klingon vessel.
Yeah.
After
you
more.
ejected the core.
How will we have disabled it?
With the new information that you got from when you were down there scanning the technology.
Yeah, but physically, how would we have disabled it?
You could have tried to send something. I don't know. You would have figured it out. How about that?
Yeah.
You'd have rolled 3 d20s and been successful.
I mean, I think we did figure it out.
We did.
We fired torpedoes at it.
That's true.
I'm
That is
quickly
true.
learning that your solution is quite often explosive.
Destroy it all.
What I should have done, but I was kind of confused on how to do it. I'm going to try to make sure that I'm familiar with it next time. I should have done a work track. I should have adapted to what you guys were doing and just made a work track out of it. And basically what that means is you have a task, but the task, in order for you to complete it, you have to do multiple attempts in order to get through it. But it's kind of unclear on how to do it. Like you have to do the D20s and then you have to do challenge die and you have to get a certain amount. So I wasn't prepared, so I could have done that on the fly, but I wasn't prepared for that. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Indeed. We had viewers tonight, too.
Oh, yeah? Did they say anything?
From the infamous Chronicles RPG group.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. They were excited we were going to Bacchus.
Oh, very good. Excellent. Are they still watching? They left. We lost.
I don't know. I think they're going.
All right. Well, that is our show. I guess we need to officially end the show.
Yeah,
That's our show.
Yeah.
Once again, you can check us out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Goodbye, everybody.